Alright, so we're just gonna go meet someone called Steve. So Steve has worked with many different Premier League players. If you've ever watched the Sunderland Till I Die documentary, he's been featured in it. He works with a lot of different Premier League footballers, does a lot of kind of life coaching. So it's going to be great to get kind of his mental tips and advice and takes today. And that's why he's coming all the way to the house. Maybe he can teach us a few things, and especially teach Abba what's it going to take, what separates him in terms of mentality in England and playing here. This is an effective house.
Yeah, there it is. Hi mate. Yeah, Steve, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Abba.
Alba, how are you?
I'm good.
Good, hello.
Hey, how are you?
Steve.
Robert.
Nice to meet you, Robert.
Nice to meet you.
How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Steve, nice to meet you.
Moses.
Oh, Moses, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And you?
Welcome.
Mo's training Abba, so
Man.
Abba's training twice a day.
Alright.
When you go to like a football environment, especially professional footballers, top class, you see many of them, you come in the dressing room, everyone seems very open and friendly, and you're supposed to be like that laddish guy, make jokes, banter.
Yeah.
But I think for any player going to a new team, it's like for most, it's very hard.
Yeah.
It's you can put on the front and it looks like everything's kind of good, it's okay, you're happy, but I think deep inside you're like, I got to make a good impression here, and I got to be one of the guys.
Footballers, and I said this on a social media tweet last week, prepare for 95% of their week and perform for 5%. Whereas most people in work, in normal jobs, perform for 95% and prepare for 5%. So football's like a really difficult industry where people don't understand that you're performing for such a short time, but you're preparing all that week. And that 5% that you're performing for, the fans who pay their money are expected to see you be 10 out of 10 technically, 10 out of 10 tactically, 10 out of 10 physically, and 10 out of 10 psychologically. Now Abba, some days, you know, when you wake up and you're just not feeling it, footballers can't have those days. And obviously supporters pay their money, but don't realise that they are actually just dealing with people just like you and me, that have the same fears and the same worries and the same anxieties towards performing.
In all the footballers you work with, are there players that are just extremely anxious?
Now what actually happens in your body when you're having anxiety, this is crazy, it's good for everyone to know, exactly the same physiology as excitement.
Really?
Exactly the same. The feeling that you get, the sensations that you get, the stuff that you know, the butterflies in your stomach, that type of feeling. Your body's a bit tense, and when you're excited, you get the butterflies. When you're excited, you get that tense feeling. When you're excited, you get that little bit of dry mouth. So reframing anxiety and trying to reframe it as excitement is one of the biggest things I do with players. So you know the players that are having extreme anxiety, when they actually get to playing, they're fine. Yeah, so when they're playing, they're not anxious when they're playing. It's just the stress and the build up.
It's that 95% of the time when they're not playing or training.
Yeah. Okay, so we grade footballers in the UK on 4 corners. The 4 corner model is your technical performance, as in your ability to receive the ball, your technical ability on the ball, your tactical ability, so what you do in possession when your team have it, and what you do out of possession. And then physically is looking at your high intensity sprint data, how hard you sprint, what is your distance covered. And then psychologically is looking at your confidence, your communication, looking at your self-talk when you're on the pitch, looking at your ability to cope with failure in the game, and how you overcome those things.
So what is like the best thing to prepare for a match or anything?
Do you know what? That's entirely personal. How you prepare is not how I would prepare. Now there are yeses and nos. Obviously sleep is going to be massively important. Your pre-match routine is going to be hugely important. What you eat, when you eat. Yeah, you will eat 3 hours before kickoff. Professionals have a game at 3 o'clock. They will eat their pre-match meal at 12 o'clock. And they will eat things like pasta, baked beans, chicken, vegetables. Some players want to be on their own. Some players want to listen to music. Some players want to talk. Yeah, so finding your own headspace would be the biggest thing I could probably say to you. Now, in terms of getting yourself physically prepared, so foam roller, very, very important. Making sure that you're, you know, before you go out and actually do your warm up, 40 minutes before kickoff, that you make sure that you've rolled your body, your hamstrings, yeah, your quads and all of your calves and your back to make sure that, thank you, that you're going to be in a really good place to perform. The people that I'm working with are normal people. They just so happen to be earning lots of money, and they just so happen to be playing in front of 60, 70, 80,000 players every week. But they have the same fears, the same worries, the same anxieties, the same concerns, the same relationship issues as we all do. You wouldn't believe, a Premier League player called me last week and said he's having issues with his partner. He's not his wife, he's his partner, and they're not getting on, and he feels that it's affecting his performance on the pitch. And he doesn't want to share it with anyone at the football club because he doesn't want the manager to know about it. It's really important that for whatever background of player, whatever level you're playing at, lots of players, lots of people in the world feel the same things. What I would say is the best players that I work with are the best at using core values. They're the most committed. They show the most ownership. They turn up on time, they're never late. They eat the best food. They put their phone away at 10 o'clock without fail in the evening. They don't have too much screen time. They use social media positively, not negatively. They understand the RAG rating, the red, amber, green, the traffic light system. They know how to develop themselves. They know all of these aspects of what elite performance is, much clearer than the less quality athletes.
One of Abba's old coaches just texted him and asked him if he had a CV. This is
CV.
Yeah, a CV, like a resume. A resume is a description of your playing career and your profile and your experience, like that. So maybe he's got an opportunity for you. Maybe he's been watching you train with all these videos and train effective and stuff.
That is the most common way to get into the professional game is through old coaches, through other teammates that can put in a good word for you.
Yeah. So maybe this could be a chance. Let's see how it goes.
Do you have CV?
Not sort of CV, but I have a highlight of CV.
Abba,
We could write you a draft.
you gotta be ready for these opportunities, bro. These opportunities don't come every day. So when you're here, you gotta make the most of them.
Right now.
Yes. Let's make your damn CV, man.
Help me right, Robert.
Let's go.
Let's throw down. Let's make it happen.
Let's go back to these guys now. Still making the CV?
Well, we have the rough plan here.
Wow, that's very effective. So next step, Robert's just pulled up a template from Apple Pages, right?
Yep.
Oh, this is the finished product. Abba, you happy with this?
Yes, I'm happy with that.
Abba Putin. Nice. I guess this does the job, right? One page.
Yeah, for sure. When you're talking about a CV, you definitely want it to be short and precise because you don't want it to bore whomever you're sending it to.
It's just all about pretty much first impression.
Yeah.
This kind of guy. Love it.
So you want to be as professional as possible, very concise, very much to the point. You know, a very common question, you know, for foreign-based players is where is their residency? You know, what is their nationality? So Abba has claimed citizenship within the US, so that's his most recent passport. So that's the one that you use. His birthday, his height, and both US and European metric systems, also your weight in both of those metric systems.
So Abba, you reckon this is ready now to send off to that coach?
Yes.
You did it already?
Yes, I send you.
Should I show this to the coach too, Abba? Should I show this to the coach too? What did you just say about the tea that I made?
Right, you have just made the worst cup of tea ever. So, my Australian friend, yeah, you need to make proper tea for us UK folk.
All right. That's right.